Hello, this is Dr. Gardner. I'm recording a little introduction to the course on how to use Blackboard, as well as how to use McGraw-Hill Connect for our online homework for the course. Now, first of all, the first thing you should do as a student that signed up for one of my courses is set up your Eagle Mail through CSI. You will use the same password and username as you use for your Eagle Mail email account as a student for your Blackboard account. So if you go to the main web page for CSI, there'll be a Blackboard tab here at the top. If you go ahead and enter your username, which will be your student number, and your password that you use for your email as well, you can log in. So my username's a little different. Yours will be your student number. You can go ahead and log in. And then you'll have a set of announcements that are current announcements from your various courses. Also on the right hand side you'll have a list of your courses you can click on to enter your Blackboard page. So here we can click on Chem 101 for our section. So if you're a section C01, I would go ahead and click on that one. There's a set of important announcements that you should be sure you've read all of for the course. Here I've listed some good things to be doing for the first week of Chem 101 to make sure you're ready for the class. You'll also notice there's a link for the online homework here. That link was emailed to you and it was in your syllabus. So if we look at Blackboard, let's go ahead and see the tabs on the left as to how we can navigate. Here's our announcement tab if we want to come back to the announcements. There's also a tab for your syllabus and your syllabus quiz. So if I left click on the syllabus tab, you can see here's the lecture syllabus for the course. So you can download that document. It's a Microsoft Word document. There's a syllabus quiz tab underneath. You want to read through the syllabus the first day of the course and take the syllabus quiz. It should only take you a few minutes, maybe 10 minutes to take the syllabus quiz. It is worth as much as an entire homework assignment. So you should make sure that you complete the syllabus quiz because it's easy points for you to earn, and it confirms to me that you've read through the syllabus. You know you should ask questions if you don't understand anything. I know that you realize where to go to get a copy of the syllabus should you lose yours here. I've also put underneath the syllabus quiz tab here my current schedule, so you can go ahead and see where I might be at different points of the day, so you know when it's a good time to call my office phone, send an email and get a quick response, or try to catch me in my office. So hopefully that'll be useful for you. If we go back to our tabs on the left of the Blackboard page, you can see there's lecture PowerPoints and tutorials. If we go in there, we will see a number of our PowerPoint notes for the lecture. If you go ahead and open those, you will see those PowerPoint notes. Sometimes they're an old set of notes that'll update as we go through the course, but they'll be very similar and cover the same types of materials, so you can kind of get an idea for what we'll be covering in what order. Also, I will put tutorial videos up. Here's a periodic table classification of the elements tutorial. It's an MP4 file, so you could view these on your portable devices or different locations. I'll also be putting some videos up on YouTube, which I'll be linking underneath your PowerPoint notes here. So you want to go into the PowerPoint tab for lecture PowerPoints and tutorials to find all the videos for the course. We can see that there's a folder for every chapter that we cover, so you can find your notes and those MP4 videos. If we go over to the left here, there's a reading and homework tab for McGraw-Hill Connect that has a link to take us to the online homework. We'll come back to that in a second. There's also a tab for tests and review assignments. So if we go in there, we can see there's a number of review quizzes here. Now the review quizzes are a little bit different than most of the assignments in the course, in that if you complete your first attempt at least on the review quizzes and get a 33% or higher as your grade on these quizzes, you can continue to take them for the entire semester. Should you not try to make your first attempt by the due date listed in the syllabus, well then you will receive a 0 for these review quizzes. You can continue to use them to practice for the rest of the semester, but you can't increase your grade. So it's very important to get at least a third of the questions right by the due date for these review quizzes, and then use them to keep studying for the exams and for the final for the course. So they're the only assignments that I leave open like that. So you'll want to make sure you complete these on time, at least for your first attempt with that 33% score. You can see there's quizzes on element names and symbols, acid and base names and formulas, common ions names and formulas. We have practice quizzes for writing compound names and formulas that you'll have to work through in the course. So be sure to keep track of your schedule in the syllabus to see when those are due so you don't miss any of those points. Some of these are linked to some extra credit in the course, so you want to make sure you do those because you can earn up to 40 points of extra credit towards your coursework. That's almost half of an exam grade. That's 40% of an exam grade, so you want to make sure you get those points. If we go over here to the left again, and we look at useful handouts, we can see some handouts that will be helpful for helping us do well on those review quizzes. There's a handout that will get you started on some element symbols and names. It's not every element in the periodic table. I do expect that students should learn the first week of the course the first 36 elements and their symbols on the periodic table, their names and symbols. Then every time we cover another element in the reading assignments, the handouts, the homework, lecture, every time you see a new element, you should learn its name and symbols. So by the end of the course, you should know most of the elements, names, and symbols on the entire periodic table. You are expected to be able to spell the elements' names correctly, so make sure you're practicing that. So these handouts will be useful for you studying. There's also an extra periodic table here. Right here at the bottom, I want to bring your attention to some very common polyatomic oxoanions that you should learn first when we learn the polyatomic anions. That's nitrate, sulfate, iodate, carbonate, phosphate, chromate, chlorate, bromate. They all have an ATE ending. Learn their names, the formula, the subscript, that's the number of options, and their charges. Learn all of those as soon as you can. So these handouts you'll find quite useful. I also have a metric system set of handouts to give you some help when you're learning the metric system, if you don't already have that memorized. I have some mnemonic devices for memorizing what cations and anions mean with respect to charged ions. I have a link to a nice little interactive application for the scale of the universe, so you can see how small an atom is with respect to living cells or organisms, all the way up to us, to a planet or the solar system. It kind of gives you a nice scale in the entire universe, so that might give you a feel for just how small molecules and atoms are, so I recommend that you look at that. I also have some YouTube links to songs to help you learn names and symbols of different elements on the periodic table, plus they can kind of just be kind of fun when you're kicking back for a 5-minute break between working on problems for the course. That might be useful for you. And then I want you to notice I also have a video that shows the reactivity of sodium metal, just how reactive sodium metal is with water. There's 20,000 pounds of metallic sodium being dumped into a mountain lake in this video. It's kind of spectacular, so you might want to watch that. If you go back to the left up here again, we can see there's exam review problems. The exam review problems are optional problems for the course, but they can earn you up to 10% extra credit on every exam that you take through exam 3, and that's a full letter grade on those exams, so they're very useful. These are very long review assignments with quite a few extra practice problems. I recommend that you go here, and let's say you're getting ready this first week and you say, okay, I'm going to do really well on this first exam in the Chem 101 class with Dr. Gardner. So you go ahead and you print the exam review questions for exam 1, practice and review questions. It's a Microsoft Word document. It has all the problems you should be working. You should work those in a homework notebook to keep track of all of the questions. Then you can enter your answers in a quiz that will be showing up here right below the exam 1 handout. It must be completed before you take the exam in the testing center. You will not have time to work through the number of questions on these practice handouts in a single week, so you should kind of be working them along with your homework in every chapter in order to have time. If you try to do them all in just a couple of days, you'll find yourself overwhelmed with the number of questions. I do give you quite a few to practice. However, you will definitely have earned your 10% extra credit towards that exam if you've worked those and gotten the questions right. So we have those for the first 3 exams. We can also see that we have a tab to the left for your grades, so you can go ahead and see your grades in the course on Blackboard. So my grades. Your reading assignment and homework assignments. You're going to have reading and homework assignments for every chapter, but they're going to be through the publisher's website through McGraw-Hill Connect. So let's go ahead and click on the reading and homework tab, McGraw-Hill Connect link. Now this is the link to go ahead and take you into your McGraw-Hill homework. That's also the same as the link that I have on the announcement page that I've emailed you and is in the syllabus for our section. So make sure you go to the right section when you click in here. So you should see the right section number for you. If you've already registered, you can put your email address in and your password. Or if you need to register, you can go to register now. You should go ahead and register under only one email. That should be your Eagle Mail through campus, because you're checking that for announcements daily, I hope. Now that you register, if you're waiting for financial aid in order to purchase the online homework, they do have a 2-week free trial that has the ebook and all the homework problems, so there's no reason why everyone can't begin working on the problem sets for the course and reading the chapters, because you have free access for 2 weeks. It gives you some time to purchase the online homework. When you do purchase the online homework, you're going to have a registration code that you're going to put in, and that needs to be using the same email address that you might have used for a trial. If you do not use the same email address as you used for the trial and the same login, you may lose some of your credit for your attempts on the reading quizzes and on the homework. Please use the same account. Also, you are not allowed to use multiple trial accounts, because I cannot keep track of all of your grades if they're in multiple locations for multiple trials. So do not do that. It's also really not honest with respect to the publisher. So you need to go ahead and use just one account. So after that, you can always just sign in here from the already registered tab. You can go ahead and go into our course. And as a student, your view will be just slightly different from mine. There's a set of training videos. Very first thing you should do, the first day of class, once you log into McGraw-Hill Connect, you should watch the training videos and make sure you understand how to enter your answers to homework questions so you don't lose any points for incorrectly adding superscripts or subscripts, or if you have an extra space in your answer. You have to be careful to make sure you enter them correctly for the online homework. The advantage of the online homework, though, is you get immediate feedback, so you know what you're doing right and wrong. They can give you hints on the homework. You also can ask for it to show you the solution to the homework, but then you give up your chance to continue trying that type of question. So do all the training videos before you get started. You'll notice that there's an LS assignment. This is your reading quiz assignment for every chapter. You're expected to take the reading quiz as you begin every chapter in the course. This is a Learn Smart assignment, this LS. You have unlimited attempts to work on the reading quiz questions up until it's due. And if you miss any questions on the reading quiz, it'll keep quizzing you until you get those topics and those concepts correct. So it won't really penalize you, but it does take you extra time. So that's the only penalty, is the time you have to put in. So you want to make sure you complete those. Those reading assignments are due as we begin a chapter, so they will ask you questions from your reading that we may not have discussed yet in lecture. So be aware that they are working ahead. They're fairly simple questions, but they're making sure you kind of understand what you may need to ask me questions about. So to kind of get you going so you get a little more out of the lectures as we cover material. Next, we have our homework assignments. With respect to the homework assignments, you have 3 attempts. However, you get a 4% penalty if you use more than 1 attempt, so try to do your best the first time around. If you give yourself enough time, you can go ahead, though, and try multiple attempts to increase your score. Now, you should expect to keep a homework notebook with all of your worked problems in it and all your calculations, so you can quickly try an extra attempt on the homework. If you don't keep track and organize your assignments in a nice, neat homework notebook, you're going to find it hard to do multiple attempts and increase your grade on these homework assignments. Most of the chapters I've split into 3 portions to encourage you to try to work on homework problems every single night. Okay, these homework sets are longer than what you would want to work in a single night, so you should try to do, I recommend, between 10 to 15 problems every night to kind of keep up with the homework assignments. And if you work them in advance of the due date, you can get a chance to email me, call me, or come see me if you have questions. So be sure you're working on those. Okay, the Learn Smart assignments are going to be worth almost a full letter grade in the course. Your homework's going to be worth almost 1.5 letter grades in the course, so make sure you're completing all of these assignments. You'll see that they're already up for the entire semester. One other thing that you'll see here is the little dumbbells. These dumbbells are extra practice question sets. They're not graded, so you don't get any points for them, but if you want to work some extra questions or see the answer to a problem you may have worked in a homework assignment, you'll see that they're there. They usually will not be available until you finish a homework assignment, so that you can't look up at answers in advance by using the extra practice sets, but you'll find those quite useful. If you have any additional questions about using Blackboard or using the McGraw-Hill Connect homework, please let me know and I'll give you a hand with those. Thank you very much.